G'day guys, welcome back to the Fon Supercoach YouTube channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the Round 0 games. Footy is back. It was good to have a look at some real footy games. A few interesting games I thought as well, the last few. But yeah, really keen to jump into some reviews. So let's do it. So first up we got the Swans versus Carlton, which was... It was kind of a weird game in the first half, like super scrappy. The skills were quite poor. But yeah, obviously in the second half, the Swans just went bang and ran over the Blues. And a big reason for that was the coach moving Errol Goulden and Isaac Heaney into the middle, which I don't know why. It was very low. Like there wasn't many centre bounces at the start of the game, but it felt like Goulden was quite a bit forward in that first, so probably quarter and a half, which I was a little bit concerned by. But seeing him move into the middle and just dominate was great. Obviously, like 6 clangers and two misses as well. Like this could have been a much bigger score. That's why the ratio isn't too good. Really loved what I saw from Errol. Happy enough to pick as well. We'll talk about Walsh in a second, but I think there is a genuine decision to be made between those two, and I'm not sure which way I'm going to go yet. Moving down, I don't think there's much worth in talking about Grundy. I will note that I would have expected Grundy to dominate Pitternet and Reedy a lot more than he did, just from a Supercoach standpoint. But yeah, for whatever reason he didn't. I'm not overly concerned. I don't think the ruck scoring is going to drop that much for the guys who can get involved in transition and can compete at the centre bounces. And Grundy can do both of those things, so I'm not really worried about Grundy. I think you would just take a 112 normally anyway. I think we'll get Chad Warner as a forward at some point during the year. I don't know if you want to go there. But yeah, just thought I would point that out. Heaney was really good when he went into the middle. Who have we got here? Oh, Sarong. Sarong was awesome in the first half. Really, really, really good. Was involved in everything, playing that wing role really well. In the second half, the game opened up a little bit more and it was much more direct, and Sarong struggled to get involved as much, but still tackling well, used the ball quite well, I thought. So yeah, was really happy with Jai Sarong. And then Malcolm Roses is the other rookie on the Swans side who scored all of his points pretty much in the second quarter. I think he had 45 points in the second quarter. But he was really good. He looks lively. He gets up the ground. I think there are a heap of small forward options. And I'm not sure if you want to spend up for Roses. It's probably more... I guess Roses is not a bad option because he's more mature than like the Dovestons, the Joneses, that sort of stuff. But I think a lot of that will come down to fixture and just when the spike scores happen for those small forward types. Sheldrick, I know there's been a little bit of interest in Sheldrick, but I don't think I can do this in Supercoach. The ball use is just far too bad. Far, far, far too bad. And then on the Blues side, I thought Walsh was excellent in the first probably quarter and a bit until Cox moved Jordan onto him. It wasn't for the rest of the game, but it was for a reasonable chunk. I didn't think that Jordan just completely blanketed Walsh out of the game. Like Walsh was still getting involved. He was just far less prolific. It is worth noting with this score that there is only 2 tackles. Walsh generally tackles a lot more. And also Walsh's CBAs were super high. I think it was about 80%. Which we've never seen Walsh with that many CBAs before. I don't know if that changes when Chera comes back. I presume Jagger's the one, and there's also some Zach Williams CBAs. I presume they're the guys that are affected by Chera, but I'm not entirely sure. I still really like Walsh as a pick. I've decided. I don't love the back still, but he was moving really well, and his ball use was pretty good, so maybe I'm not so worried about the back at this stage. Ollie Florent off halfback. I think Ollie Florent is 300k. He was really good in the first half. I think he was on about 60 at halftime, using the ball reasonably well. I know that disposal efficiency says 59, but when he was getting it uncontested, he was actually doing reasonable things with it. Thought that was pretty good. Obviously, Sard is out for a little bit with a hamstring. I believe he's only going to miss 1 game. I think Mitch Cleary reported that recently. So not enough games without Sard to probably justify Florent, but I think he'll still make money. I think he can give you worst case 80 to 82, which that probably makes 100k. You can do a lot worse than that. But I have no idea what the floor is in this role. We haven't got a lot of data in that. And Foreign has been good during the preseason, so if you wanted to go there, I think you could be well within your rights. Cooper Lord has 0 tackles, which is very unusual for Lord, who is a tackle bot generally. And then playing off that wing, half forward, scored 85. So there's another option that you could do. I think for mine, the role probably isn't good enough. Unlike Florin has a much better role playing half back, obviously. But yeah, Cooper Lord's role was not particularly good. I believe Florin also took a bunch of kick-ins. I think I should just mention that as well. And then Jagger was the ratio is bad because a lot of so he had 27 touches, but a lot of his possessions were uncontested, and his disposal efficiency isn't that good with the clangers, given that a lot of his ball was uncontested. I'm not worried about Jagger at all. This is like absolute lock. Obviously, like 65 as a worst case score, which realistically probably is Jagger's worst case, is still very, 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 very attractive. So nothing to worry about Jagger with this ratio. Harry Dean, I thought, was pretty good, but the role just is not very good for Supercoach. I think he will be a good player, but yeah, I don't want to pay 100. I think he's 190k, so no way I'm paying for that. And then Reedy, yeah, I don't want to pick this guy. I think I'd rather pick a loop over Reedy, like reasonably confidently. Even if he does get some solo ruck games, I'm not convinced he can score much more than 50. But if he does score 50s, he probably makes enough money to justify picking. It's just going to be the worst watch ever. So, yeah, I don't love Reedy, but we may be forced to go there if we want to play in R3. Moving on to this game, the Suns versus the Cats. I'm not really surprised that the Suns won in this fashion. I thought, the Cats have a lot of guys that feel pretty underdone at the moment and missing a bunch of players as well. So, yeah, I wasn't really surprised. However, how I was surprised was with how good Christian Petrarca looked. He looked amazing. I haven't seen him play that well since the 2021 Grand Final. He looked super fit, sprinting out the front of stoppages for the whole game. Looked unbelievable. The ball use was, I don't know where the ball use has been for the last few years, but the ball use was unbelievable too. So yeah, really happy for Track. And if you were considering fading him, I would think again. He's going to fill up in these big wins as well. So yeah, he was really good. Took Miller, not an option for now, but I think we're going to get him as a forward at some point. So I would, and I think he can do at least 100. So that would probably make him a top 3 or 4 forward, depending on who else gets moved down there. So the moral of that story is don't fill up on these guys that are like probably high 300s because they're not going to make enough money and you're going to have to trade them out. So that's my opinion anyway. So I don't think you'd be doing that. And I think Took Miller, as I said, will get as a forward and he'll be a very good keeper. Anderson had Mark O'Connor hanging off him the whole game, kicked 1 goals for, and still scored 100. So I am a little fearful about what he's going to do over the next 3 matches where he has West Coast, Richmond and Melbourne. Hopefully he doesn't kill me too much. I'm not going there because the buys are awful, but you're welcome to do so. He's going to score a lot. He's going to be top 8. So still a good pick, I think. Just not for me with the buys. Moving down the list, we have Leo Lombard, who I thought was really good. Kicked 2-2, but gets up the ground, tackles. He's also like super quick, moves really well. So yeah, I was really impressed with his game. Obviously, he's going to score. He's another one of these small forwards that in wins, he's going to score better and he's going to have spike games against bad teams. I think he is the best of the small forwards, which I like. Doverston, Rosas, obviously Lombard, Newton. There's probably a couple of others. Laurie. There's a few out there, but I think Lombard is the best of them. So I think I would go there. And then Zeke Euland, he's had a lot of time off. I'm very confident Zeke Euland is going to be a good player, but I think he's going to have a very, very slow start to his career, given his role is not going to be very good and he hasn't played a lot of footy in the last 12 months. So probably not a pick in Supercoach or Fantasy. And then on the Cats side, Tom Stewart, I am very tempted to be hurt again, but I have learnt my lesson after last year when he single-handedly defeated me, so I will not be going there. He was very good though. Max Holmes was also quite good. Not a massive score. I don't know if Holmes will be a keeper as a midfielder only. I'm very interested to see how he goes. Obviously, the Cats got spanked, and it's a little bit unfair to Holmes to make that assumption. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see with Holmes. He can probably do 110. He was quite good in this game as well. The big one for this, for me, was Tanner Bruhn, who I thought was excellent in that halfback role. Obviously, as I said, the Cats got spanked and the ball was down there a lot, but like taking kick-ins, really running to get open and make space, like calling for the ball, which we love. That's that piggish tendency that we want to see from these halfback types. So yeah, I was really impressed with Tanner Bruhn, and I am very heavily considering him for my side at this stage. And then I don't believe there is anyone else that is relevant on the Cats side of the ball, so I just want to double check. I mean, Myers is probably a primo as well, a forward primo, but I wouldn't start. Obviously, he can put up these stinker type games. Oh, and Baz. We're going to get Baz really cheap at some point. So, yeah, keep an eye on that. That might happen quite early. I think I can't remember exactly when their mid-season buy is, but I think it's actually a pretty good one as well. So, have Baz on your watch list for upgrade season. Yeah, there's no one else relevant here. Okay, Giants Hawks. This is probably, I would say the 2 Saturday games were upsets, definitely. And this one really surprised me. Like, I thought the Giants were in trouble without Daniels, Tom Green. There's someone else as well who I'm forgetting, who is Sam Taylor. I thought they were really in trouble, but they were awesome. Jake Stringer in the contract year has 9 shots on goal. Obviously not relevant for Supercoach, but he was really good. Cogs, 122, great score. Was playing predominantly forward, so I don't think the role is good enough to justify picking. But yeah, he was really good, and I couldn't fault you for going there either. And then Oliver, I think there will be a lot of interest in Oliver based off this. He had, I think, 19 contested, 10 clearances, along with a goal. I still don't think Oliver looks as powerful as he was at the peak of his powers. Lacks that speed, but he competed really well throughout the whole game. 85 TOG is really good. He was really struggling to get anywhere near that last season. So, yeah, really happy to see Clary go well. But I think he's got an awkward price. If he was 50k cheaper, I'd maybe entertain picking this. But, yeah, I don't know. It's not for me. And then Joe Fonte is one that I have seen people getting very interested in. I really rate Fonte. I traded into him off one game last season. Really like the talent, really good VFL numbers. But I think this game was a little bit, how to put it, it was the ceiling type game that I don't think we're going to see very often. He had like 4 intercept marks that just pretty much fell in his lap. There was, obviously, Ash had a down game and missed a lot of, I think he didn't miss that much time on ground, but like he just wasn't running to get the ball as much as he normally does. So yeah, I'm a little bit sus on Fonte. It's not for me. I think there are a lot of really good options around that price in the midfield and defence as far as mid prices go that you don't have to risk that off of a smaller sample size. But yeah, that's just my opinion. And then, yeah, Ash had the hamstring complaint but played through it. Presume he's fine. Yeah, random down game. His ball use is like, he had some shocking kicks in this game. I think he will be a bad own when I eventually pick him because I think he's still top 6. But yeah, wasn't very impressed with him in this game. Finn Callahan off the injury was built into the game nicely. I think he's another one that come upgrade season might be quite cheap. I'm still not sure that I want Finn Callahan without Tom Green. Obviously, Oliver was really good in this game, but I think Tom Green's a little bit better these days. Comfortably better, I would say. Harry Ralston, just the 60. So he's the 4th CBA midfielder. I would have liked to have seen some higher CBAs. So it's Oliver, Callahan, Toby Green, and then Ralston. Cogs didn't get many CBAs in this game. I don't know if that holds for the rest of the season. Generally, those 4th, 5th, and 6th guys can be like more interchangeable for as far as the centre bouncers go. So yeah, didn't see enough from Ralston to justify picking, as in my opinion. If he put up a really good score, I would have been very interested though. And then the rookies, Gothard and Delana. Delana is like his last, so this game and the last preseason game, he's been like super efficient with the ball. But just like, he's like the worst of the small forward type picks, just never finds the footy pretty much. And then Gothard I thought was, again, all right, but another one of these small forwards. You can pick a bunch of these guys. Like you can go full guns and rookies if you want, but there are going to be some very slow burns on your bench if you do that. So yeah, that's the Giants. The Hawks aren't too relevant this year. Sicily was excellent. I think he's 460k. I do love me some James Sicily. He was kicking the ball really well, intercepting, taking contested marks. Like it was prime Sicily, which I love to see. However, Amon and Impey did not do a whole lot in this game, and that concerns me because when they did last season, Sicily really struggled to score. So yeah, not Sicily probably not for me at this stage, but it was good to see him looking nice and fit. Connor McDonald, yeah, the role's not good enough for mine. He's probably the fourth midfielder. I do think that he could maybe be the solution to Hawthorn's struggling midfield. Like, if I was the coach, I would be playing him in there more than Ward. I actually don't have the CBAs on. Oh, no, that's quarter by quarter. Yeah, there's no CBAs on this website, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think McDonald's going to get enough CBAs to pick, unfortunately. And the only one I think is relevant from this Hawks side is Sam Butler, who, again, he's one of these small forwards and he's the most expensive, which I think because he is close to 200k, he's automatically the least appealing. So yeah, that's just my take. He'll have some good games, but I think they'll be few and far between. 2 goals for a 54. Not really enough. All right, game of the round, Lions versus the Dogs. Obviously, there are some potential suspensions, I should say, from this game. So Harris Andrews has been offered 3 weeks for that like swinging arm that knocked out Artie Jones. Zach Bailey has been offered a week for like an elbow to Michael Selwood. And Gardner has been offered a week for a late hit on Aaron Norton. What does that mean? So, as far as Supercoach relevance goes, we're going to get... there's also a Hugh McCluggage injury, which is going to affect the midfield split a little bit at the start. It's probably going to make Will Ashcroft's numbers look really good in the first couple of weeks, but I don't think Clugg's going to miss much time with that calf injury. So, yeah, I wouldn't be jumping on any of these Brisbane guys based on that. If you like them anyway, then there's a little bit more appeal now, but... yeah, I don't think it should change your decisions at all. He's probably only going to miss 1 week. Zorko, you cannot pick a 37-year-old, I don't think, even though he was terrific in this game. Zorko is always really, really good, but he has some games where he's not that interested because of his age and he doesn't want to overstress himself, so that's fair enough. Neil was good as well, but again, I don't really love this pick based on the age. He does have no tackles here, though, so there is upside on this score, although he has had 40 touches to get there. I spoke about Will Ashcroft. I don't think the CBAs are going to be high enough for him. And then Dunkley, limited preseason, so he's going to be another cheap one that we get at some point during the year in upgrade season. The two that I want to talk about are Kadeen Coleman and Zane Zakastelski. I think I've got that right. So Kadeen Coleman really struggled to run out the fourth quarter. I did think, even at the start of the game, that he was looking a little bit underdone or unfit. I think Fagan has also made some comments about his rehab preparation type thing not being the greatest. So I'm a little bit concerned about Coleman. I think it's a no-brainer to have Fletcher. So basically Fletcher's moved out of the backline to accommodate Coleman, but I think it's a no-brainer to have him there more than Kadeen Coleman. I don't know how long Answorth is out for either, but presumably he comes straight in for Coleman when he's fit. So yeah, I think Kadeen Coleman did not pass the eye test for me in this game. Zane Zakastelski was pretty good in the ruck. The main interest for me with Zakastelski is he has predominantly trained as a key defender. The last this preseason he was mainly a key defender. With Harris Andrews and Gardner likely missing 3 games and 1 game each, he may play a few games in key defence. Now, I think I prefer that to whatever Liam Reid is going to give us. He's a good athlete. He runs well, covers the ground. A few good spoils, which give us Supercoach points. So, yeah, I was pretty impressed with what I saw from Zakastelski. And if he is named next week with Draper in the side, I think I'll actually go there It is a little bit risky, but he does have DPP to give you some flexibility. And he should come back in and play at some point when Draper or Fort needs a rest in the worst case scenario. So really liked what I saw from him. And I think I'm going to have him at R3 at this point. And then we move over to the Dogs. Ed Richards is an unbelievably good footballer. Just doesn't miss kicks. Just tremendous footballer. I don't want to start Richards because of the limited preseason, but if he keeps doing this, he's going to absolutely cane me. So hopefully he has some quieter games, although I do enjoy watching Ed Richards carve teams up. Tim English scored 117. I thought his ruck work was really bad in this game. Like, it's pretty hard to have... When you're doing hit-outs to the Dogs midfield, it's pretty hard to have a lot of them sharks, but I feel like English was just hitting them straight to the Lions players. So, yeah, I don't know if that'll change as we go. But, yeah, he was really good. I think he's going to... These 2 goals are not... This is not going to be normal, but I think he is really going to stretch some ruckman up and down the ground, and I think he is going to have games where he kicks 1 or 2 goals. So, was really impressed with Tim English. Just covers the ground well, gets involved in transition. That's the ruck that, in my opinion, is the safest type going into the new season with some differentiating rules. Bont was forward a lot, so I haven't had Bont at all this preseason, but the forward time is an absolute no-no for me. So, yeah, I am not interested in picking this at all at 700k. And then the really interesting one for me from this game was Connor Buderick, who I was under the impression was just playing lockdown for the Dogs because he is quite capable of that. Obviously, when Dale went down in the Pracky game against Sydney, he got a lot of the ball, but that was after Dale went down, so I wasn't sure about it. This game, he was really, really good. I don't know what the quarter-by-quarter breakdown is for this guy. Which one's Supercoach? It's the second one. So, yeah, 3, 39, 16, and 47. I thought he had some bad ball use at the start of the game, but I thought the rest of the game he was really good. And he was getting involved even before like Dale was cooked. Dale had pretty low tog. What Bevo has done is he's got Jakes and Bramble on the wing now. Now, I think one of them loses their spot or may lose their spot. It might be Selwood that loses his spot when Sanders comes back. But basically what Bevo was doing is he was running a midfielder off half-back. A lot of the time it was Libba, so that's where the Libba half-back rumour comes from. And that guy, and Libba was running straight into the centre and the wings would like float back as extra defenders. But what that meant was Selwood was doing a lot of the lockdown stuff, which freed up Buderick. And Buderick's usage was exceptional late in the game. Like, he was really, really good in the last quarter. Took off a lot of challenging kicks and was nailing them. So, yeah, I was really impressed with Buderick. An option that I hadn't considered, but is now very much on my radar. And then Jakes was just super solid. Similar to Sarong, started on the wing a lot, but was like getting back behind the ball, getting involved in the chip mark in defence. And he used the ball quite well as well. So, yeah, I was really impressed with Jakes. The next one is Selwood, who, again, is playing lockdown, but he's playing it well. 7 tackles. The Dogs, it's pretty hard not to get involved in some of the junk at the Dogs, and he did do a little bit of that, which was good to see, which has helped his score. I think I prefer this to Carroll. I think they both have really bad job security, though, so I don't know. 70 on the board is good, only in the price cycle for one game. But yeah, he was really impressive, I thought. And then Fraser, a lot of forward time. Was one of the guys running off half-back a little bit, but yeah, not for me. Hines is 150k forward. He's getting some CBAs and he's playing like half forward, but I don't know how much that persists throughout the year. Maybe he's the one who loses his spot for Sanders. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. He didn't do enough to score well enough to justify picking at that price. And then Jones got KO'd. He was going pretty well before he got KO'd though, so that was a shame to see. Hopefully he's okay. Then Croft. I don't know what price Croft is, but hey, these 2 misses were genuine sitters from 10 metres out, and he missed both of them, so he's probably kicking himself for that. But yeah, I think he's playing key forward anyway, so he's not really a pick. But yeah, that is the opening round. Oh no, we got one more game, tonight's game. How could I forget? The Saints v the Pies. So, Jack Sinclair, yeah, he was very good. Went similarly, went as I thought. Collingwood's a good matchup for these designated kicker types. And he was doing a heap of chip mark at the start, pretty much had all the kick-ins. So yeah, he was really good. Windhager's like a sneaky pod that's sort of come out of nowhere the last couple of weeks. Getting a lot of junk at halfback, as you can see, like 11 marks. Even Wilkie had 12 marks tonight. Like, I can't see the Saints do a lot of this chip mark, but I can't see this volume being sustainable. 11, like I sort of expect like 5, 6, 7, maybe 8, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not going there, but I can understand people being brave enough to go there. And then Jaconi, the ruck split just isn't good enough to pick this. I don't believe. Flanders was really good. A lot of uncontested stuff. Didn't get involved a lot early either. But yeah, I still thought he was good. This 77's whatever. He's still priced at less than that. Or he's priced at about 77 maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not worried about Flanders. Just racks it up with ease. And then Philpo, just the 66. Poor disposal efficiency. He does a lot of this he panics and he just handballs it forward. And it's pretty much always a clanger. So yeah, not something that I love to see, but high contested rate, and yeah, just a good footballer. So like, if he's only giving us 60s, he's still a really good pick because he's going to make 150k. So yeah, that was really good. And then Carroll, I was more impressed with than I have been. Obviously, very uncontested. Had 8 marks, which, as I said with Windhager, I don't think is sustainable. Collingwood allow a lot of the chip mark stuff as well. I don't know. The mid rookies are so bad that I may pick this, but it could blow up in my face. Like, this 54 is not really an ideal score, particularly on 8 marks. Like, that's, yeah, a little bit concerning. McRae had really low tog. I'm not sure, not Supercoach related, but I'm not sure that McRae and Flanders can function in the same midfield. Like, I think McRae may need to spend some time in the VFL, to be honest. Then Marshall failed a concussion test, so he's going to miss a week next week. I don't know what that means for... I presume that means Owens plays second ruck, but DeConing will have a lot of ruck time next week against the Demons. And then moving on to Collingwood. Josh Dacos, 13 marks, unsustainable. Like, a lot of these 13 marks, 11, 13, like 12, like super unsustainable stuff. The Saints allow that a lot. And yeah, this is just not sustainable. But Dacos was very good. I think Josh has a problem where he's very reliant on getting fed the ball. He doesn't get a lot of his own football. It's all like handball receives or chip marks. So this is not a pick for me, but couldn't fault you guys. Couldn't fault anyone for going there. The Saints are the easiest matchup for these Dacos type players though. So just keep that in mind. And then Nick just ran around doing whatever he wanted pretty much the whole game. Missed a couple goals I reckon he normally would have kicked and had some random poor disposals in there. But he was pretty good. I'm actually surprised he didn't get any attention. But obviously, I don't know. He's very good when you let him run around on his own. So yeah, Nick was excellent. Who else is here? There's not many. Oh, Cameron. Cameron was really good. Like, a lot of the ruck disposals have been low this week. But Cameron and DeConing had no issue finding the footy. So, yeah, I don't know. I like Cameron as a ruckman. He's really good around the ground at disrupting contested, like, packs. He takes contested intercept marks, similar to Gawn. So, do really rate Cameron. Not sure what the scoring potential is like. His ceiling is very uncommon for rucks. Like, he can go those, like, 160 type scores, but it's just less frequently. But I think this is a reasonable pick in the ruck line. Like, I think he's fairly safe. And then Tagoe scored 90, but like had 3 goals literally fall in his lap. Really low time on ground. I'm not interested in this pick at all. And then Perryman. Oh, I didn't talk about Nazaya. So Perryman tagged Nazaya for virtually the entire... I think it was the entire game, actually. And for most of the game, Ross just let Nazaya go head-to-head with Perryman in the stoppages and around the ground. And there were times when Nazaya could get off Perryman. He used his speed to get open, but for the outside types, having a tagger, a lot of the time, they don't even have to be fast enough to catch you. They just have to run around and follow you and make it hard for your teammates to give you the ball. And that's what happened tonight. Nazai took him forward and was getting out on the lead, but some balls were not kicked to him very well. And then in the second or the final quarter, he went back. Perryman followed him to defense. He had like a kick in where he like kicked the ball, ran out of the square, kicked the ball to someone, then got a handball receive, kicked the ball to someone, handball receive. So he can still do that. But yeah, the role or the tag was concerning. Now, I think that Nazire is going to be in the school of Butters and Dacos, where teams are going to find random taggers, but he's also going to go for, like, he's a much better forward than those guys, and he's going to have games where he goes forward and kicks 2 or 3. So, yeah, I don't know. I think if you weren't expecting tags for Nazire, I'm not sure why you would have had that thought process, but I think if you were expecting it, you're probably still not overly concerned. Not everyone is going to have a tagger to run with Nazire. And let's be honest, he's going 180 on my Demons next week. Like, we're going to let him run around and do whatever he wants. So that's going to be a tough watch next week. But yeah, it was a tough game for Nazire. And yeah, that's it. That's all for the opening round review. So thanks for watching, guys. I will have a team update out tomorrow. I need to stew on these games for a little bit longer, but then I will, post a team update. And yeah, I'll see you then, guys. Have a good one.